Hey everybody, my name is Phil.
I'm Erika.
And today we're going to be watching episode 5 of season 1 of The Chosen. Let's dive in. Okay, someone explain to me what AD and BC mean, because I'm confused.
Help us. After death. I think that's why I told you that's why they changed it to CE.
Okay, but
I don't know. They do use AD here,
they use BC here as well.
Please, have you seen?
Why are you alone, man?
My son. He's only 12. Jesus!
It's Mary? Now is it gonna be teaching?
I was supposed to be with my father.
Then why weren't you?
I was.
He's doing that thing again, Mary. He's
It was incredible, Mary. You should have seen him. He was teaching when I found him.
It is too early for all this.
If not now, when?
What are you going to do for your mother for this transgression, huh? I'm going to make him rub your feet.
so weird.
I know, right?
She's just like as a kid, playing around.
I know. Yeah.
I wish there were more stories about that.
I know. Why couldn't James write about that stuff?
Oh man. James must have
his
stories.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy? He's the one?
I know. Well, he didn't believe, right?
I know.
Until he died.
Probably had to clean his diaper.
Probably. Yeah, it is weird to see Jesus fully human as a child. Like,
temper tantrums. Jesus terrible twos.
I know, right? Would he have terrible twos?
I mean, they'd be wonderful twos.
I know, right? Just to be like the perfect child.
Hey, it's a good day.
Mary?
Is that how you walk the morning of our wedding?
Yeah, with
Little skip.
that little skip to my step.
Miracles.
Okay, so we're going back and forth.
John, signs and wonders.
Maybe this was happening concurrently.
You?
No.
Maybe there's a wedding the next day after the boat.
Are you adding those to my list of infractions?
Really? Thought it happened before he started his ministry.
Make straight the way for the king, they'd shout. Prepare the way.
Should we be clearing the road for you, John? Is that the point of this story?
I don't like your frock. The cost of the vestments alone could feed 3 children in Nazareth for a month.
I gotta go. I know we're not like on good terms right now. But...
So I hear.
Oh.
What have you heard? He told me to cast one more time, which made no sense, but I did it anyway because of the way he looked at me. And then so many fish showed up. They were pouring into the boat. So many kept coming that Zebedee ended up filling both of our boats, enough to pay off the whole debt.
What?
Appropriate.
He's the Messiah. I know it sounds impossible, but I saw it with my own eyes. He made boatfuls of fish appear out of nowhere. And the words he spoke, the one John told Andrew was the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world, it was him. And then he called me to follow him. And Andrew, James, and John to go where he goes and to learn from him. And he said that I wouldn't be a fisherman anymore, but that I would catch people instead. I don't even know what that means. He's the one we've been waiting for all our lives. I want to quit fishing and leave the sea behind to go. I know it makes
She's
no
happy.
sense, and I know it will make you upset. All I can tell you is that this
She's been praying for this.
This is the man I married. Of course he chose you.
The lamb meat will be there before or after we arrive?
After. They don't have a good place to keep it, so I didn't want it there too early.
But are they going to show up?
With plenty of time for you to roast it your way.
There's only 3 jars.
Yes. That's what they asked for.
Reima, I am very concerned we won't be able to get all 3 all the way to Cana intact. I told you, we needed 4 from your vineyard to be safe.
I told you, the wedding family can't afford it.
I would have paid you out of my own pocket.
Is this the Thomas?
I don't know.
I just want to be certain that
Thomas, that's going to be fine.
He's really doubting everything. Huh?
Yeah. It's definitely him.
It's his way.
Perfect day for a wedding, huh?
Master.
The backpack!
Mary, James, John, Thaddeus. To the road, my friends. The bride and groom await.
Shalom, Hila.
Dina.
Awkward. I'm delighted to share this special day. Is Abner here? I'd love to tell Rafi we have time for a special prayer together.
Abner sent me on ahead. He'll come with friends before the ceremony. He asked me to select his table. Sarah is unwavering in her love for your family.
We love Sarah. And all of you. Very much.
Sarah knows you do. That's crooked.
Ugh.
There'll be no Romans. Seems like the perfect place to gather more followers, get this whole thing moving.
It's not my special day, Simon. It's the special day of the couple, Asher and Sarah.
They are blessed to have you at their wedding. Do they know what a remarkable thing it is?
Well, considering that I was the clumsy teenager who cracked my head open at Asher's when he was a child,
Wow.
I don't think he finds me remarkable. Did you think much of your childhood friends?
No, he didn't have any.
So weird, right? So weird.
What are you doing?
So
Just
normal.
gallivanting?
This is beautiful. You can't even tell it's crooked after all these flowers are on it.
From your special day?
He's coming.
I haven't seen him in ages. How is he?
He's good. He's always good.
I'm ecstatic for you.
He never stops
He's-
being good.
When he's not working. He has a calling. I seldom know where it will take him.
I bet he's handsome. I bet he is.
They're not giving him like a love arc in this, are they?
Moment of truth. I made Rafi's
Not that I know of.
for good wine.
Creative liberty is one thing, but yo, you can't.
That's a bit much.
Oh my. Thank heaven on Asher's day. Abner and Hila will be pleased.
And I assume the head count is still the same, 40 or so at a time during the week?
Is it?
I'm asking.
I'm sure it's right.
Perfect.
The father of the groom is gonna bring
Maybe.
so many people, or bride.
Knock, knock. Can we come in?
Or Jesus.
Hey!
Oh, I wonder how long it's been.
I have missed you. Look at you.
What? What?
It has begun.
What has?
If he's healing in secret now, the public signs cannot be far off.
Public signs? What? You know him? First.
Teacher of Israel, finish the oracle of Agur, son of Jakeh, who has established all the ends of the earth.
What is his name and what is the name of his son?
Surely you know.
God does not have a son except Israel. Israel is his only son. All of us.
Suit yourself. All your life you've been asleep. Make straight the way for the king. He is here to awaken the earth. But some will not want to waken.
Thomas!
Okay.
There's 12 more.
Am I going mad, or has 40 been the magic number all along?
The head count? Why? Are we over?
The last count was 80.
You made a mistake.
Maybe by a few. Even if I'm off by 5, the wine.
I did advocate for a 4th. But
Told
3
you.
is still enough. Pour 60. Lighten your pores. Like this. 3/4 full. If they ask you for more, tell them you'll be right back. But guess what? You won't be. Understand?
Duffy! Dinah!
Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
There he is.
Oh, the guy was just an MC.
Or I think he owns the venue, maybe.
This is the best party I've been to in a long while. Mwah. 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 I'll be honest, I was not always happy about this. You may not have known that.
Yes, we know.
You were born in Nazareth.
Wow.
You know, just gotta get over where people are born from sometimes.
I lost my train of thought.
Oh my God.
Libations, yeah? It's the libations.
I thought you said this was crooked. Looks fine
Good
to me.
now.
Yikes.
Wow, the fact that she had to tell her husband about it.
I must know the vineyard.
That was a big ring. I think I won a championship somewhere.
Everyone's getting lit.
This looks so fun.
The gambling ring?
The shell game, yeah. Pay up! Not a bad first day as a follower.
I know, right? Go to a wedding, get drunk.
They have no idea who sits before them.
Jenga.
I think we are the lucky ones. They have to go home with their parents tonight. We get to stay with him and his mother.
Where will that be?
Who knows? With him, I have learned to stop worrying about those things.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
where, like a roof over your head?
Yeah.
I keep reminding him of when our Abba taught us how to fish. We just sat there and watched until we became fishermen.
We will watch him.
And then we will become Messiah.
Forever, I think.
Forever. Wow, that's good.
Talk to me.
You're the one that said there were going to be 40 people.
Andrew has 4 left feet.
4? Why 4?
When he tries to dance, he looks like a donkey walking on hot coals.
I can see that.
They've run out of wine.
But it's only the first day.
Yes, and it's all gone. Not a drop left.
Why are you telling me this?
We can't let the celebration end like this. And the Etcher's family humiliated.
Do one of those things that you do.
I seen it.
Boys.
Behind closed doors.
Mother, my time has not yet come.
If not now, when?
I see what you did there.
Yeah, she's been holding on to that
Yeah.
for like the right moment.
Do whatever he tells you.
He's like, it's done. So this would be public.
Fill these jars with water. I'm not sure you heard her clearly, but we've run out of wine, not water.
Do you know why jars for purification rites are made of stone?
What?
You heard me.
Don't doubt me.
You heard me.
Fill these jars with water all the way to the brim.
Why?
You heard him. Start drawing water. Quickly. Tell anyone you find to stop what they're doing and help.
From the directions you have provided, I see no logical solution to the problem.
It's going to be like that sometimes, Thomas.
It's gonna be like that.
It'd be like that sometimes,
It'll
Tom.
be like that sometimes.
I am losing my buzz.
Wait.
It is far past time for another round of wine. The last one was nearly an hour ago.
Yes, well, you see...
Surely there is more coming, Dinah.
Next round of wine right away. Thank you for reminding us it's all under control.
Once you make that first cut into the stone, it can't be undone. What used to be a shapeless block of limestone or granite begins its long journey of transformation. And it will never be the same.
Wow.
He's taking that step.
I'm ready, Father.
Like him taking that step?
Yeah, like...
I also see it as a circle.
Like after you take that first cut, it'll never be the same. And like after he does this first miracle, breaks that seal, nothing will be the same.
Right. I also see it as like once you come to know Jesus like intimately, you'll never be the same.
Boom.
The latter vintage, sir.
Let's have a taste.
Everyone, listen! I have something I would like to say. At every wedding I've ever overseen, they serve the best wine first. And then, when the people have drunk freely, much later in the feast, they serve the poorer wine, the cheap stuff. Because by then, who is going... But you have chosen now to serve the best wine I have ever tasted.
Yeah, you.
The wedding...
DJ, spin that.
Fish, wine. What will be next?
Bread?
Any suggestions? Anything. And everything. Let's do this.
Let's go!
I love him. So eager.
I seem to remember there was a problem. Something about Andrew's feet.
Andrew's feet. So, you help him? Something's even
Oh, you just got burned by the Son of God.
I can't pretend I didn't see a miracle. He gave us even more than we need.
He invited me to join him. He wants us to meet him in Samaria in 12 days.
That place.
Some big storylines coming.
I don't know what you think.
So don't.
Yeah.
Maybe for once in your life, don't think.
Oh my gosh, how many of us do that?
Logic your way out of your miracle.
Wow, what that girl said at the end really got me.
Don't think?
Well, yeah, there's that, but also, like, he even gave us more than we need. Like, how of God is that? Like, he'll answer your prayer and give you more.
Yeah. For sure.
So good.
So, okay, maybe, obviously, that we will be corrected in the comments.
Yeah,
like,
please.
What is
I
the
like
logical, not logical, but what is the sequence of it? Like, it did happen before he chose.
What are you talking about?
These, like, this miracle.
Yeah, I think intentionally they made this out of order.
Just
Like,
so that other people could to have the disciples already there to witness it. Just because we have already established relationships with them.
Yeah, I think so. I just feel like with the show, more than being accurate with the order of the stories, like what matters more is just how we as the public can see ourselves in the characters of the disciples. Like, I've never seen a show be about Jesus so much, but also so much about the disciples. Usually it's always about Jesus and like what he's done and like the focus on him and just like everything that he does and who he is. Whereas here there's a big focus on the disciples and their stories and
that's the name of it,
the way
right?
that they how they talk about Jesus, their first impressions, how they're like dumbfounded by like what just happened. Like it's so easy to see ourselves in them. And I feel like that's more of like the point of this over the accuracy. Like at the end of the day, like that miracle still happened. Like these miracles still happen, but I know they switched up the order.
It's interesting because like it's interesting that this is one of the first times, or maybe like one of the first ones that we've consumed where it has that perspective, because all of Christianity is that perspective. Like it's all accounts from people who were near him.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? It's all of them telling people like their innermost feelings about what just happened. So I think that's literally the Bible, right? It's literally like, other people's relationships. So it is interesting because like you think about any of the like major stories, it's his life told by him, kind of. So
what do you mean major stories? Like other
like films? Movies and productions. So it is interesting that it took this long. But like it's literally called The Chosen, right? So it's like it's about them, their experiences, and I love how were able to just kind of reveal more about Jesus's life through their eyes. I think that's exactly the way that we've always done it. So maybe that's why it's a bit easier for us to kind of consume. But it's really interesting. It's still very novel. Like I don't even know if that's where Thomas came from. I don't know
either.
That didn't sound familiar at all. But also I thought about it a little bit. And I'm like, I don't know where most of these disciples came from. They're just like, there were 12 of them, and they were following Jesus.
Yeah.
So it's cool. I like how they introduced him. Like doubt from the beginning, not only with him, but just with like his own abilities, like to drive his, you know. So it's very, it's very interesting.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say. Just.
What about Simon Peter and his his eagerness to?
I think they do Simon Peter very well here. Like, just so passionate, like so gung ho about Jesus, and like just so like just trying to be one step ahead. And he just has so much passion, and like you can't really knock him for that. But it's But you see Jesus, like you can see how patient he is in so many different ways. Like he has to be patient with someone who's so eager, patient with someone who doubts, patient with someone who like just cannot fathom because of how. Well, I mean, I don't think humans are meant to fathom God's ways. It's like what just happened. But yeah, just kind of like, it's really cool how they show Jesus's patience. Like even with like towards the end, Simon, when he was like, okay, like let's get this going, and he was like, first we have like to divert that conversation to the joke about Andrew's feet. Like,
well, he was doing that. He's been doing that ever since, like in the few scenes that we've seen with Peter and Jesus. Like he's been doing that without making him feel bad. He's been like turning him down and being like, slow down, without saying those words, right? And he's like showing different ways. So like as a parent, it's kind of interesting to see how like the gentle approach of like saying like, no, you don't have to move too fast. Like he's correcting without being like so heavy-handed. And I think that's I think it's such a nice approach.
And with humor. Like I feel like this was one of the first episodes that I saw that I was like, oh my gosh, like they make him so human. And I've just like never seen that depiction before. So it's just like it's really cool to see. And it's interesting what you said about like the Bible, how like it is written by people's accounts of Jesus and their experience with him and with the Holy Spirit. But like what you're saying makes sense. Like, oh, this should be a normal way of how we see Jesus, because this is kind of how we've been reading about him. But I never saw it that way. It's always been about like just recounting again who Jesus is, who God is. Like I feel like that's always kind of the primary teaching when it comes to Christianity, religion, whatever. It's like, who is this person that's even worth following in the first place? And like proving all the, like in my mind it's like it has to be proven to me of why he's credible, like why he's the Son of Man. I didn't really ever see it as, oh, this is their experience with him. Like I've just never made that connection relationally until I got saved, and I was like, whoa, we can actually have a relationship. So I think that's what I really love about this show too, is like it really shows relationship, not just reverence.
Because that kind of stuff, it might be in the Bible, but it doesn't leap off the page, right? It's like it talks about characteristics of God. It talks about characteristics of Jesus, which is why he's portrayed in that way in so many other pieces, right? They're pulling from the Bible and it's talking about all of these things that he is. But I think what this does a really good job of is like, it doesn't talk about characteristics, it talks about personality. It talks about like who he is as a person, as opposed to like who his being is and who his presence is and all of that, which is all important. I think this is something they're going to get into more and more. But yeah, I think the focus on him and like how he was with children and how he is with his friends and his family, like that's something we don't touch. Like it's a quick anecdote in the Bible, and it might be even like really, really abrupt. So like it leaves a lot for us to kind of fill in the blanks, and that's what they did. And they just kind of did it in a way that's, yeah, to just really highlight how human he was.
Like human, but with so much integrous character.
He's good. He's always good.
But like they portray him as someone like obviously with like incredible man of character.
Yeah.
And incredible leadership. And like those two together. Yeah, and how he just how he exemplifies his character and his leadership and with everyone around him and how he responds. And like his gentleness and yeah. It's like I think that's what makes like you watch him, it's like, wow, he's so human, but like obviously he's not normal. Like he's not like anyone else that he's like, I don't know. That's why even like when what are they talking about? Simon, about the fishing. It's like you just watch him and then you just observe and then you make your own mistakes and that's how you learn.
Yeah.
And I like that approach because usually religion is like, I don't know, there's like a misconception that like you have to be perfect before going to God, where here it's like
come as you are.
Yeah.
No, for sure. So one thing I'm wondering, one thing that they always focus on is like that whenever someone is deciding to follow, the significant person in their life is like, go, do it, right? Is that just a cultural contextual thing because they all have this shared understanding that there's a Messiah that will be coming, and that's why it's so easy for them? They'll be like, that's him. Like, go, like, drop everything, do it. Or like if we were to like take that out of and put it into like this context and we see someone doing all these things and he's like, would it not be as simple, right? Like to kind of do the thing, because like they like, yeah, their entire lives, like a lot of them are pretty young, like they've heard about the Messiah coming, and maybe that makes it a bit easier, or maybe it's just kind of they can't help but believe after they've seen what they've seen. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I never really thought about that, but I have a feeling that Jesus is very intentional with who he chooses, which is why, like, he chooses the doubters, he chooses the sinners, and I think that's why, like, everyone else around them is like, hello, like I think that's why it makes it so relatable.
Like he didn't choose them. He chose the ones that are ready to go. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
He chose the ones that he knows it's gonna be, again, like what oh my gosh, Thaddeus was saying. He chooses the ones where it's like there's gonna be a long journey of transformation.
Because then because that testimony holds so much more power. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, that's blowing my mind. Because I never thought about, like, Jesus being intentional. Because, again, like you say in the Bible, it's like...
You don't think about Jesus being intentional?
No, you don't think about Jesus, like, him being intentional with the disciples that he chose. Like, in the Bible, it's just, like, he chose, like... I don't know how I read it.
It's literally
like,
just a line, right?
Like, yeah, they just give names.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's like they actually show them... like maybe in the book of Acts they go more into like maybe
but that's even past. That's like afterwards.
Yeah, that's after like doubting Thomas. Like I didn't know he was doubting Thomas
until
after.
Yeah.
But
you don't really know much about them throughout, right?
Yeah, so it's really interesting how they do it here. Like they really bring it to a human level.
Yeah.
And a what am I trying to say? Like it's not modern, but it kind of is.
Yeah, no, because like you can see yourself in each of them.
Yeah.
Right.
It's still culturally appropriate to today, I guess, is what I want to say.
It's human.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's just human.
Mm-hmm.
We're all human. We all doubt, and we all try to make logical explanations for things, and.
But eventually, we get to a place like in Christ, in relationship with Christ, where you get to where Mary is, which is like,
man, what
I'm
a
good,
freaking boss!
Like,
I've just come to a place where I don't worry about those things.
I don't worry about like what I'm gonna eat. I don't worry about where I'm gonna be sleeping. It's like just ticking off like Maslow's hierarchy. Just like I'm good.
Yeah. Well, also you think about how she experienced Jesus
Yeah.
versus how other people have experienced Jesus, and her experience was pretty unique.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm not all that surprised by her just easily believing, because
Yeah, I mean, like, in the grand scheme, like catching fish versus what she what she went through and what she experienced in like outside of that tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Like miracles, both, but like, yeah, for sure. Like, it's easy for her to just be like 100 and like 180 from there.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's actually really, it's actually really crazy. It's like the deeper in the depths that you are of like demonic spirits and all that, and like Jesus pulls you out from so deep, it's so much easier to trust in Jesus when you've gone through something that, I don't know, I assume. And I've heard a lot of stories like that too, of like people's testimonies of like people who've, really been through hell and back, and then they get saved and they're like, oh my gosh, like complete 180.
Yeah. Huh. Someone in the last video mentioned that something was going to happen to Simon Peter this episode.
Maybe they're just joking.
Maybe. Or maybe it was
You're
another
looking
episode.
out for that?
Yeah, I was looking out. I was like, there's not much Simon Peter in this episode. Maybe something's going to happen at the end. So maybe something's coming up. Yeah, maybe.
I think it probably was just a joke.
Yeah, maybe it is. All right. Well, that was a really good episode. Probably one of the better episodes of the season for me so far. But yeah,
that's what you said about last episode.
It just keeps going. But I think there's like 3 more episodes left in this season. But we'll probably go straight through into the next season, and then we'll catch up eventually. So I hope you're enjoying watching. I know there's a small group of you that are continuing to watch. Thank you very, very much. And we'll continue going with it. So we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Bye.